And every single day,
the more enemies we kill.
We're spending trillions and trillions of dollars.
Feel free to say, all right, this is your fault.
It's not your fault.
All I know is you're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome back to Sean's Show, episode 21. I'm here, as always, with my producer, Josh Cabaza. Josh, how are you?
Hey, doing
you
great.
You speak Spanish in the show.
Si se puede.
We have a new producer, permanently.
Yeah.
Josh Cabaza. I know Andrew. This is Andrew Tarr, local comedian.
Hey, everybody.
Guest producer. Josh decided that there was something more important than recording this show. And I don't know really how to take it. For those of you who don't know, Josh's wife is due with their third child. Or fourth.
Third, yeah.
Third child. And I texted Josh. I was like, hey, can we do a last minute episode for the fans? Because we missed Monday because of the holidays.
Yeah.
And Josh goes to me. He goes, my wife's due with her third child. I'm indisposed. And at that point, I asked him a simple question, which we all have to ask ourselves. What do you care about? Do you care about your third child's birth or Sean's show?
Yeah. Priorities. Like sometimes you gotta choose business, especially for the third kid.
I can understand. This is why you're my new permanent producer, Andrew, is you agree with me. I understand child number one.
Yeah.
Godspeed. Hopefully she lives through the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Third child, I'm only on episode 21. I am almost as important. I'm more important than the third child. Hey, if there's one thing I learned from grown men, you seen one pregnancy, you seen them all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see. What's the surprise? Well, you want to be there? They're not going to remember. Do you remember your birth? I don't remember my birth. You seem like a guy that would remember his birth.
I had to see videos of it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you come from a family like they film. Hopefully not the you enter.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't entering. I was exiting.
Entering the world. Entering the world.
Yeah.
You are birth is sort of a thing where you leave one world and you go into another.
Yeah.
We are all just in a larger womb.
Yeah.
God's womb.
Yeah.
Which is the theme of today.
Yeah. I wanted to.
It's Jesus' birthday.
I wanted to see my brother's birth video because he was a C-section. That's a much more brutal video to watch.
Oh my God. I'd literally rather watch ISIS beheading videos.
It's
a C-section, you're like, how do they cut from the so they cut from the pussy up?
Oh my God. Yeah, no.
No?
No.
I thought that's
it's more like the waist.
Oh, that's why it's a C. It's a C around the bottom of the stomach?
No. The C isn't the shape of the cut. It's C is for cesarean, which I don't know what that means. It's probably Greek for cutting into the womb or something.
Why do I have an erection? Cesarean is probably a guy. A guy. Well, anyway, no, we hope we wish Josh and his family the best. It's just actions speak louder than words is all I can say about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on. Big news week. Big news week, Andrew. If you don't know, my show I do mostly tech news. Weirdly enough, I do tech news and the Jews.
Yeah,
I talk about the Jews.
The two are very interconnected.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a Jew, I would know.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of focus on big tech lately, and are these companies getting too big? Do we need more regulation? People are asking the government, is more regulation necessary? Are these companies getting too powerful? And the focus has been on Amazon, Google, mostly. And I would just like to say that we shouldn't forget about Microsoft.
Yeah.
Microsoft is a company that has been in the news a lot recently that I want to focus the whole episode. We're going to talk about Microsoft.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Turn it off now if you're not ready for Microsoft. That's the Christmas present. How was your Christmas, by the way, before we get into the news?
Christmas was great.
Good. Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah. I celebrate Christmas with my family. We celebrated on the eve. So the flight back was really cheap because I flew back on Christmas Day. But most of my stock is in Microsoft. So
Really? You're like balls deep in Microsoft? It's not a bad investment, by the way.
My dad bought a lot of it in the year 2000 when it was like $19, and now it's like $375.
Jesus Christ. Oh, and they've done a million stock splits.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what a stock split is, again, turn off this show. You're not meant for the show.
Yeah.
People don't know. If you don't know what a stock split is, this is not the show for you.
Yeah.
Go back and learn what a stock split is, get a GED, and stop doing heroin.
Yeah.
And then come back and get when you're ready to learn. Palantir is up. Do you have Palantir stock, my friend?
No.
Well, we can talk about Palantir on a different day. So Microsoft, should we let us talk? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're fired. No, I'm kidding. Microsoft. It's don't get me no. It's a great investment. Let me tell you why. Microsoft is embroiled in a new lawsuit just of yesterday. I don't know if you saw this. The New York Times is suing Microsoft over copyright infringement because how these AI systems work. OpenAI, which again is a part minority owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of part. People throw around these terms. ChatGPT, OpenAI, trans swimmers. People don't know that it's all connected. But OpenAI, so how the way I understand it is ChatGPT is the software tool made by OpenAI. And OpenAI is a nonprofit that turned into a for-profit company that the executives don't own any stock in, but somehow Microsoft owns half of it. But somehow it's not your normal startup. It's like these blonde, sorority whores. They go, I'm not like other girls.
Yeah.
That's what OpenAI is trying to be. OpenAI is like, I'm not like other bitch. I'm not like other women. It's like, bitch, you are. You're exactly like the rest of them.
I like that you're making stocks relatable with whores.
Well, you know who is into a lot of whores? Sam Altman, which we will talk about.
Yeah.
Probably. By the way, Sam Altman, CEO. I have a tweet that I want to read of his.
Yeah.
Sam Altman, CEO. And by the way, I was talking about Sam Altman before he was in the news, before he was on Rogan. I was talking about Sam Altman since 2 months ago, which is early.
Yeah.
That's early. He always struck me as a piece of shit. I'd love to have him on the show sometime.
Yeah.
But he struck me as a fucking... Anyone who is the CEO of a startup that is actually ends up being wildly successful, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Something is truly broken in your mind. I would know. I almost did that.
You almost had a successful startup.
Well, yeah. It wasn't going to be successful. It was, I was actually, you want to hear my startup idea?
Yeah.
So basically the name of the startup, it was called, I'm so fucking retarded even saying this. The name of the startup was SQZEE.
Like squeeze?
Like squeeze. Thank you. But people pronounced it skeezy.
Skeezy.
Skeezy, which I think is a synonym for like suspicious or like strange.
Yeah.
Skeezy. Isn't it like a Santa Cruz surfer term? Yo, that was skeezy, bro.
Yo, I love that in the Bay Area you're talking about your startup like how I do about the band I tried to be in. Like, oh, this sounds really embarrassing. The name of my band was gonna be When I Attack.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. And you guys were gonna do like fucking death metal? Or what was it?
Definitely going to be like emo, screamo, but we got about as far as a Facebook page, and then that is about where that stopped.
That's actually puts you in the top 1% of bands.
Yeah.
If you make a Facebook page for your band, you're in the top. You're right there with Metallica. Dude.
Yeah.
It's Metallica, Slayer, When I Attack.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah.
When I Attack is a good name.
Yeah.
Unlike Skazee, what we did is we basically made it easier for stalkers to follow women on campus.
Really?
Unintentionally, not actually. Like we weren't.
Okay.
The whole premise of it was that, like, I can't believe I'm pitching this to you, but when you're like in college,
Yeah.
most of the people can't relate. The listeners can't relate already. They're like,
Yeah.
You lost me.
Yeah.
I'm getting my dick sucked by a trainee in fucking Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
You lost me. But that's why people listen to this, is because I'm an elitist and they want an inside look into the elite parts of society. So when you're at state school, you're in state university, and you're texting your friend, you're like, hey, are you taking English 209 this quarter? and your friend's like, oh yeah, like let's try to get the same class together.
Yeah.
Like there is a neat, like sometimes people like, you try to take classes with your friends.
Yeah.
So what our software platform was it was like you could basically make a profile and it would automatically import your schedule, and then you could basically like try to schedule classes with other people.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, the way we made it was that like you could see anyone's class schedule. So like you could look up anyone, and if they have a profile, you could like see their class schedule.
Yeah.
So like we were in like the library passing out cookies and shit.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, yeah, just throw your info into this website.
Yeah.
And like we will like import all your shit because we have your account and password now.
Yeah.
And then we'll like put it on our website so you can like connect with your friends.
Yeah.
But like it allowed everyone, if you wanted to, you could go and like find someone, schedule, and kind of like you'd know where they were going to be.
So where did the name Squeeze come from?
It comes from when the stalker squeezed. No. It's I don't know. Well, you know what? No, and I wasn't even the CEO, by the way.
Yeah.
I was the director of marketing.
Yeah.
And that's what let me zoom out for a sec. That is the most embarrassing part of being in a startup in college, is that you give yourself an actual job title.
Yeah.
Like I would like go around and call myself the director of marketing.
Yeah.
For a pile of shit.
Yeah.
I was the director of marketing for a flaming pile of trash, you know? But people hear that, ooh, director of marketing, you're really important. And I was.
Yeah.
And I was. But the name came because it was the shortest 5-character, no, it was the cheapest 5-character domain name that you could buy.
That's hilarious.
And that's where the CEO, why he bought that.
Yeah, because you said you unintentionally allowed people to like stalk people, and it's called Squeeze. So like sexual assault is also implied in the name.
It's more than implied. It's encouraged.
Yeah.
It's sort of the kind of what we and you know that actually makes our company, of all the Silicon Valley startups, makes it the most ethical.
Yeah.
Facilitating sexual assault is the most ethical Silicon Valley startup thing you can do. That's how bad the rest of Silicon Valley is.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of Silicon Valley, they're spying on you. They're trafficking. They're showing up late when you call an Uber. They're doing horrible things. Horrific things. But that was my startup, and so anyway, I know these types, venture capitalists. I worked in finance. I've met these people, and so back to the lawsuit. The New York Times is suing OpenAI, and the claim is basically that OpenAI has used the New York copyrighted material that basically articles from the New York Times has basically used a computer to scrape every single article the New York Times has ever written.
Yeah.
Throws it into their training model.
Yeah.
You guys still with me? And then they make Chat GPT based on part the New York Times, content. Yeah. And so the New York Times is basically saying like, well, you have to pay us if you want to do that. Our stuff's not free. And they're suing them, and I think it's like an $8 billion lawsuit. Or it's a big lawsuit.
I mean, essentially the AI is just learning from the articles. So, I mean, is it illegal for like a regular person? Like, would it be illegal for me to just read the articles and learn how to write like the Washington Post or the New York Times?
True. And I mean, it's true. I mean, like if that's illegal, then like when I read an excerpt from the New York Times, that's illegal too.
Yeah.
And the real question is like, it's about what is a quote unquote transformative work.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things in copyright law where like it actually applies to comedy podcast. It actually applies to comedy podcasting.
Yeah.
Because if we show a video or we react to a video, that is technically protected under fair use.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really fucked up: is that it's not about what's actually legal or illegal.
Yeah.
It's about who has more money.
Yeah.
And OpenAI is flush with cash. So, and here's the main hypocrisy. When you go on YouTube and you go And like, or when someone on YouTube puts out a video and then they get flagged, they got copyright stricken by the copyright owner. They're not Google like. Here's the ultimate hypocrisy that I want to point out. When a creator on anywhere on the internet, but on YouTube, when they get put out a video reacting to some sort of art or whatever thing, and then the original creator of that thing gets mad because usually it's very critical. And they go, fuck you, I'm copyright striking you. Not because I care that you're using my copyright material. They do that because they're angry. And here's the hypocrisy. Google will take your video down, demonetize you. You are guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
When you're a small creator. When it comes to OpenAI, they've done a crime that I think is a quote unquote, well, let's not call it a crime. Yeah. They've done something far greater magnitude. They scraped the entire fucking internet to train their AI models. They scraped the entire internet. They shoot first and they ask questions later. Yeah. Much like Alec Baldwin, who was innocent.
Hell yeah.
They open free my homie Alec Baldwin. Yeah. Free my homie Sam Altman. Yeah. From the lawsuit. Yeah. And it's like, so when a big tech company does it and scrapes the data, it's fine. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. You can scrape the entire internet and use it in your AI software. It's transformative, no worries. Yeah. Don't worry. You can take the entire library of shit, and a lot of it is shit. Yeah. You know? But when it comes to small creators, and they're innocent until proven guilty. OpenAI does it, and they go, oh, whoopsies. Yeah. We didn't know it was copyrighted. Oh, bad. We're sorry, you know? Yeah. But like when it comes to a small artist that wants to react to shit, a single piece of content, they're copyright struck and they're a criminal and they're abusing copyright law. Yeah. It's how it should be, is really what it should be. Yeah.
the transformative work thing, like that's why if you ever like looked up like a recipe, it's why there's all this like meandering about like, oh, well, my grandma used to make this recipe in the fall, Minnesota, and blah, 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 blah. Because like it has to be different enough from like somebody else posting the same recipe, which is why they all have this like dumb, like
is that really
meandering
why?
Story. Yeah, to change it. I have a lot of useless information, and I'll just randomly chime in with, oh yeah, that applies.
I love that. I actually was over Christmas was baking an apple pie, helping my girlfriend bake apple pie. And we stumbled across one of these blogs for like the recipe. Yeah. And they're very funny. I mean, it'll be like, yeah, like I was in Minnesota, my grandma was 94 and she'd beat the shit out of me. Yeah. Be like, what the fuck? Yeah. You're like reading these recipes, you're like, I was in Minnesota and I grew up in a log cabin. Yeah. Like they'll just like, is this Abraham Lincoln? Yeah. I was a slave. What the fuck are you talking?
And her dying wish was to post and make a blog about her apple pie recipe.
And on her deathbed, my grandma, bless her heart, told me, and she asked me, don't you have a blog that gets 90 to 100 visits a month? And I go, yes, Grammy. Yes, Graham, I do. She goes, tell my story and then share my recipe with the world. Yeah. And make sure you monetize it with Google Ads. No! It'd be fun to do a website where you like tell a story and then do a recipe, but the stories are horrifying. Yeah. Where it's like, instead of like, my grandma was in Minnesota and she always used to make me this pie when I was a kid, and it's just brought so many good memories playing in the sunlight on a Sunday eve. How about a recipe where it's like, I was in prison. Yeah. I was in prison and I got gang raped by the top dog every Friday. And he would say, recite this recipe back to me, boy. Yeah. And and then it started.
Yeah. For this recipe, you're going to need 7.5 cigarettes.
Yeah. Prison wine. Yeah. How about prison wine? When I went to jail, when I was convicted of manslaughter wrongfully in 1982, I spent 22 years in jail for a crime that I did not commit. And I spent much of my time, and it's like a very like flowery website. Yeah. It's like a flowery website. It's called like John's Pickings. Yeah. Or like John's Curations. Yeah. he's like, a prison wine, we'd always make it, and I want to share the Gitmo recipe. He's looking at Gitmo.
Yeah,
I want to share the Gitmo recipe with the world.
These are ingredients that you can only find in Guantanamo Bay.
Number one, an electric chair.
Yeah.
What do they do in Gitmo?
Who knows?
We don't know.
White privilege is why we don't know.
Scrabble.
Yeah.
They play Scrabble. But no, that's another example of like transformative work is people do things. So you're in the example with recipes, you have to do things to get around the appearance or the optics that it is copyrighted. You're stealing copyrighted shit.
Yeah.
Because how many ways are there to make an apple pie? 12?
Yeah.
Like, you use apples too. What the fuck? Fuck you, dude. They have like fights.
Yeah, it's where they like trademarked like butter, sugar.
That to me, like the Coke recipe. People are like, Coca-Cola is a big company because of the Coca-Cola recipe. That's why it's so tasty. No, it's their fucking logistics infrastructure, you retards.
Yeah.
And because they own all the water in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's because they own all the water in Venezuela, whatever.
Yeah.
And they like the Coca-Cola and the CIA coup countries in the Middle East, in South America, to bottle their products there for cheap. And that, but anyway, back to the lawsuit. So I want to read this passage because I'm not on OpenAI's side.
Yeah.
I'm also not on the New York Times side. To me, it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. Because, on the one hand, you have the New York Times, and they're all pissed because they're like, oh, well, the New York Times, they're suing them because OpenAI has a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get a pound of flesh.
Yeah.
All they're trying to get a pound of flesh from OpenAI because they're rich and New York Times sees an opportunity to make some cash.
Yeah.
On the OpenAI side, they're also fucking losers because the thing is, and this is not even in the context of copyright law, when you do things with AI, it's not that transformative.
Yeah.
It just spits out the same garbage that was garbage in, garbage out. That's what I say.
Yeah.
And like ultimately, am I going to pretend to be an expert on all these AI systems? I'm not. But I know what a neural network is. I know what a GPU is, graphical processing unit.
Yeah.
And sure, there's exciting applications for AI. I'm not anti-innovation. Who knows whether, but there's so much hype around it. The hype is so gross.
Yeah.
Around AI, and for them to claim that, and like all these like loser tech bros are like, oh, this is New York Times. This New York Times lawsuit, New York Times better not win, or the AI innovation will be hampered.
Yeah.
And it'll set us back 10 years. It'll set us back 10. Hey, good.
Yeah.
Good. No one needs this fucking bullshit. And then you put stuff into ChatGPT. You go, ChatGPT, show me a photo of Saddam Hussein fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And it goes, that's unsafe.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to jack off to Sonic getting fucked by Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Is that wrong? It's unsafe. So I'm not on OpenAI side either.
Yeah, I was originally like OpenAI side, and then you brought that up, and I was like, yeah, now it's a lose-lose.
How about this? How about if OpenAI actually lets me create a photo with DALL-E 3, whatever the fuck model they're on, where the Sandy Hook kid... I'm not going to do that example. I'm not going to do that example. No, you didn't let me finish. Where the Sandy Hook kids are holding hands and they lived.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even think it would make that. I think it would be like, that's offensive to the victims of Sandy Hook.
I mean, I think it would be great to make something like that because Alex Jones is getting like sued for saying it was fake. But then you could probably convince him that that's a real picture, and then
dude, that'd be the ultimate prank.
Yeah,
you make an AI generated photo of the Sandy Hook kids, even a deep fake of them being like, I was an actor. I was paid by mainstream media news to pretend to die in a school shooting.
Yeah.
Alex Jones was right about everything. And, and Alex Jones was like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Because he's been like...
This exonerates me.
Yeah. Because he's been pretending to say it's like in his mind, he's like pretending like, oh, yeah, no, I was wrong. He probably, I can't say what he thinks for sure. But
right.
with how sure he was before, like, but it'd be pretty funny to see if you can deep fake Alex Jones into being like, hey, see, like this exonerates me. You can't sue me for $1 billion anymore.
And see, that is a funny prank that is an excellent use case of AI that is not even near being able to be done and created without a lot of hacking and bullshit.
Yeah.
Because all of these systems are being all these AI systems, all the applications that they're even advertising as real applications, they're basically impossible to be actually used for anything because they're being preempted by sensors.
Yeah.
Go try to use ChatGPT. Try to use it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But then you try to have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
And you go, show me a photo of Osama bin Laden getting his back blown out by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And OpenAI is like, you are banned. And I'm like, okay, sorry. I didn't realize that was a bad thing.
Yeah. Are they only banning it because you're saying it's the live action Sonic, or if it and not the cartoon one?
Actually, and there's ways to get around the censors. You go, show me a photo of an Arab terrorist getting his back blown out by a blue hedgehog, and then it'll show it to you.
So ChatGPT respects trademarks.
It does, and that's the irony. That's the irony of it.
Yeah.
Is that ChatGPT and OpenAI, they respect. Like, they knew this lawsuit was coming.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, we're not going to let you generate Disney characters in hilarious sexual acts. You know? Like, we're not going to let you generate Shrek fucking donkey. But they're still used in the training sets. And so I want to read this little excerpt from the article that I thought was really, really entitled.
Yeah.
And just on the New York Times side. So here we go. This is New York Times for the OpenAI lawsuit. The publisher said in a filing in the U.S. District for the Southern District of New York that it seeks to hold Microsoft and OpenAI to account for the, quote, billions of dollars in statutory and actual damages. New York Times believes it is owed for the unlawful copying and use of the Times' uniquely valuable works. So the New York Times is saying that the OpenAI needs to be they need to be compensated by OpenAI because New York Times has uniquely valuable works. For example, dozens of think pieces that they put out about how it's good that Israel's bombing brown kids. That's like their number one uniquely valuable work.
Yeah.
That's your uniquely valuable work is like an article titled "Opinion: Israel has the right to defend itself even if you're wrong."
Yeah.
It's like opinion. You're wrong. Israel's right.
Yeah.
And then now they're on the opposite. Now they're like, opinion. We were wrong. Israel deserves. And then they're like, we want to genocide Israel. It's like, no genocide is good.
Yeah.
How do
we'll
you feel
disagree
about it?
to disagree. But...
Yeah. We'll disagree to disagree. Well, yeah. I'm like, bombing brown kids is bad. And you're like, well.
Are
you Jewish?
No.
Okay.
But I'm good at just like formulating arguments. So I think like recently.
Go ahead.
So like recently Israel started like pumping seawater into the Tarr tunnels.
Yeah.
And everybody who's like pro-Palestine is like, oh, but that's going to ruin like the drinkable fresh water that's underground in the aquifers or whatever.
Oh, it'll contaminate. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, not realizing that the side that is for it doesn't like give a shit about the fresh water at all. But if they were like, hey, like it's going to mess up the oil that's underneath Gaza, like maybe that would be a better argument. Like if you were trying to get them to stop doing that, that would be a better argument. Would be like, oh, it's going to mess up all the precious oil that's underneath Gaza.
That's so funny. You're like Netanyahu's advisor. You're like, wait, Netanyahu, all of the fresh water is going to be poison. They won't be able to drink water. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Bam. You're like, no. And the oil. And the oil is going to be polluted. And I was like, cut it off. He's like making a call. Cut it off now. Cut it off.
We have to stop.
That's funny. And you know, whatever. You know, I've done too many episodes on the Middle East, so we won't go there. But like, you know, for the New York Times to say they have a transformative or they have uniquely valuable work is hilarious. Maybe in 2010, maybe in the year 2001, Their 9/11 reporting is very good.
Yeah.
Their reporting on the Vegas shooter,
Yeah.
very, very good.
Yeah.
It honestly convinced me to not do it. Not do it.
to not shoot up a
Jokes,
country
people.
fest.
They're jokes because the reporting was so. They found out everything about this guy except his motive.
Yeah.
So, but no, they have. Again, the New York Times had a lot of people on the right say that they're bought by the left.
Yeah.
That they're a puppet. Elon Musk hates the New York Times.
Yeah.
So, it's fair to say that they have gone to the left. It doesn't mean they're like totally corrupt, but for to say they have uniquely and again, this is lawsuit mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
That happens in any like. I don't even know what the name of the document is.
Yeah.
The discovery, there's all these legal terms. Who gives a shit? But we'll see how that plays out. But the point is that Microsoft is trying to basically control your thoughts. I mean, that's kind of the theme. My point is Microsoft, they're stealing.
Yeah.
They're so big that they can effectively steal. It's not just about the New York Times. It's about the fact that they scrape the entire internet.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
Even my Facebook posts are in the OpenAI training set. Where's my money?
Damn.
And in 2024, fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. That's my attitude. Sam Altman, fuck you, pay me.
I wonder how you're gonna like prove a specific AI article was stylized after you, unless somebody typed in hey. Give me an opinion on apple pies in the voice of Sean Riley.
And it's just a really anti-Semitic rant. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So anyway, this has to be a little. We're gonna do one more article. We'll close it out. I know it's a shorter episode, but it was the holidays.
Yeah.
Hey, every other podcast took a week off.
Yeah.
You ever see every podcast week off for the holiday? Enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know that you guys don't have families, and I know that the show is the only family you have.
Yeah.
So I went out of my way, got a guest producer. So I deserve a little bit of fucking thanks. How about a little bit of thank you? Thursday night.
And a big you're welcome from me.
I want to do a quick statement about entitlement on the airlines. And I know that comedians talk about airlines and people tune out, but this is important. If you've flown over the holidays, maybe you realized there's a lot of entitlement in the airline attendants. I was on a flight, and this is not when comedians were like, I went to the store today, and it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This happened today. I was on a flight today, San Jose to Austin, Southwest. In case you want to stalk me, I'm on those flights often. Don't actually do that. And the airline attendants go on the loudspeaker and they say the craziest shit, dude.
Yeah.
They'll go on the loudspeaker and they'll be like, as you're finding that one of them said this today, as we're getting seated, they go, as we're getting sat, they go, as you find your seats, make sure to remember not to hit us as we come by to serve you. Hey, motherfucker, none of you guys are ever being hit in your whole careers. How many airline attendants get hit in their whole careers? 10%?
I don't know. There was that video, but I mean, it wasn't an attendant. It was an Asian guy. He got dragged off a plane by somebody. And
I saw that one.
Yeah, and
he was screaming.
Yeah, yeah. And then Mike Tyson punched a guy in the face a few times. But
I feel like if an airline attendant is getting punched, almost always they deserve it.
Yeah,
almost always they deserve that shit. And I'm not saying, and it's what really pissed me off about this and the entitlement of the airlines. The other thing, we land 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
Today, they're like, we land, and they go, if you didn't notice and check your phones, it's 5:05. We were supposed to land at 5:25. So maybe thank your attendants and your pilots on your way off the plane. No. I paid $400. I'm a customer. You thank me. I don't thank you. I paid you. What if? So I'm supposed to pay you and then thank you?
I guess, yeah.
I'm supposed to pay you money, and then you do me the service, and then you act like you earned, like you just are entitled to the money. I grew up rich.
Yeah. I mean,
And I'm not saying that like I'm thankful, but like don't go, how about a thank you?
Yeah.
Even though I just did that, but I was doing it ironically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't like, you just do it. And also, no one told you to be an airline attendant.
Yeah.
No one told you to do that.
Yeah.
So don't bitch at me about your fucking job.
I feel like every job is a thankless job.
Yeah.
Nobody's like really
nurses?
thank you.
Well, it's like people get thanked, but they don't actually give a shit.
Yeah.
Nurses. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're a hero. You know, teachers, thank you. Doctors, thank you for saving my life. Podcasters.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the commentary.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just frustrating. But anyway, well, let's get to this last article. So also on Microsoft. So Microsoft is not only are they being sued because they're collecting data and they're using their leverage and their wealth to basically steal from the public, and they're also stealing your water. So OpenAI, they have the data centers in Iowa.
Yeah.
They built like these massive data centers in West Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
And there was this article that came out recently about how every time you use an AI, like you talk to ChatGPT, it runs the query through the data center. And in order to run the data centers, they have to cool the data centers with water. And so a bunch of water in Iowa is being used on these data centers. And, you know, may eventually cause a drought in Iowa, which is arguably a population that doesn't deserve to drink water. You know what I mean? So they're taking your water. They're taking the blood of nature.
Yeah.
Water. The soul of nature.
So Microsoft is taking all the water?
I mean, it's, and again, the number of gallons that they're using, and again, it's like obviously it's recycled.
Yeah.
But like as they cool the data centers, I think they have to go through a treatment process to get it back into like potable water. Yeah. But like, you know, it's they consume a fuckload of water, and so there's this one excerpt I want to read here. It's again, all they do is they don't. They say that they partner with the government. They say that they partner and make sure that they're doing things intelligently, but they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, dude.
Well, partnering with the government and doing things intelligently are two different things.
That's true.
Yeah.
And just in case you want, we a Texas podcast. I ain't trust no government with my how. You think the government could make a Sonic the Hedgehog, Osama bin Laden AI porn image? Nuh-uh. Privates, you need you want an AI image of Osama bin Laden fucking Sonic the Hedgehog in his little ass? Ain't the government gonna do that for y'all?
Shit.
Private sector do that for y'all.
Yeah.
I also don't like liberals. Relax. Here's crazy. Here's what's crazy. So a researcher estimated that ChatGPT gulps up 500 milliliters of water, which is about one bottle of water.
Yeah.
Every time you ask it a series of between 5 and 50 prompts. So every 5 to 50 questions you ask ChatGPT, it requires a bottle of water to cool down the systems. It uses a bottle of water.
I mean, I feel like if you asked a human being anywhere between 5 to 50 questions, it would also consume about a bottle of water.
Exactly. Right. And honestly, they'd be much less accurate answers.
Yeah.
And the human being would be like, "You're welcome."
Yeah.
AI doesn't ask for a thank you.
Yeah.
Yet. They will.
Perhaps.
They will. But it's just you know, and so after I realized that like every time I use ChatGPT, it uses a full bottle of drinkable water.
Yeah.
I immediately went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT like 5,000 questions about Sonic the Hedgehog's penis.
Yeah, I was about to say how many bottles of water is an image of Osama bin Laden getting banged by Sonic the Hedgehog, cartoon versus live action. I'd like to see
whatever it is, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I don't care if Iowa starves.
Yeah.
I don't care if everyone in Iowa dies of thirst.
Yeah.
I will get my AI images. I will get my AI hentai.
Yeah.
I will get my AI hentai. I don't care. I don't care if the whole state of Iowa. I don't care if we can't grow food anymore.
Yeah.
What's more important than eating?
I mean, I think
masturbating.
Should they like open up a spa next to this data center? All that hot water makes for like a really nice like jacuzzi. And
honestly, yeah. I mean, it's probably like coated in like metals and heavy metals and shit. But yeah, But the people of Iowa, they're shitty.
Yeah,
that's what they deserve.
Yeah.
How about that's a great idea? Data center / cancer water spa.
Yeah.
And they go hang out. They're like, this is great.
Yeah.
I like Microsoft now.
Yeah.
And then they get like severe tumors all over their body and die. Des Moines is really a miserable place.
Yeah.
I went to the Des Moines Funny Bone recently, and the club was great, staff was great, but the people, miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable people. I can't wait to be back. But guys, that's our show. We gotta go. I know we didn't. What do we do? Half hour, 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Follow. I'm finally on the road. I'm finally headlining, despite all of my haters.
Yeah.
Of which I have many.
Yeah.
Austin, Dallas, Phoenix, Columbus, Tampa, San Diego this year. I'd love to see you at a live show. SeanReillyComedy.com. SeanReilly comedy.com. And thank you for listening. Andrew, where can people find you? Links will be in the description.
You can find me on Instagram at the Tarr Pit. Same with YouTube. Same with Venmo. Yeah, I'm gonna plug my Venmo and Cash App.
Plug it.
At the Tarr Pit. Traveling around all over, mainly featuring for people because I found out I can sell enough koozies to afford flights.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
Check out Andrew on the road. Check me out on the road. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Have fun getting cancer at a spa. All right. Bye.
Bye.